Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
So it's that time of the week. It's time for our 1-minute book recs. This is where we go over all the books that we read in the past week with 1-minute synopsises for each book. But before we get started with that, what do you want to tell people?
All right, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification button and like and comment below. How was your reading week? We'd love to hear from you.
Okay, how was your reading week?
My reading week was pretty good. I have I have 11 books and I had some good 5-star ones this week too.
Good. I have 8, but we're going to talk about 6 because a couple are Ice Planet Barbarians. You guys know Ice Planet Barbarians. I told you, I wrap presents. I listen to Ice Planet Barbarians. But I had a couple 5 stars in there too. So
sweet. I am reading a series, so I have 9 to talk about, which I really thought was going to make it so I didn't have to go first.
Sorry, I slacked this week and Amazon locked me out of my account for 24 hours, which really affected the reading, and I was so mad.
Plus, but you're back in?
I'm back in now. It took a little less than 24 hours, but I had, a kid's birthday in the middle of that, and we had Christmas and Christmas Eve and all that other stuff, so I wasn't reading a lot because I was cooking a lot.
I saw where some people said that they were told by Amazon that they would be locked out for 3 to 5 days. So,
Well, I called in and it was before it really got crazy when it happened to me. And I think because it was earlier in the day, because afterwards, like I was messaging an author friend and she was like, oh, now I'm seeing it all over my Facebook page. And I think what happens is I called in early enough that they expedited mine because the person said she was going to expedite it and push it through, where other people called later in the day where there was thousands of us at that point and they weren't pushing anything through. So yeah, I didn't know what to do. I looked at my bookshelf and I was like, I have nothing to read. It's just different reading physical versus Kindle. And I like to read on my Kindle. So,
because you're older and you need the font bigger.
I do not make the font bigger. Thank you very much. No, it's just holding it. I don't know what it is, but that's how I started reading, was on a Kindle. So that's what I'm used to. And I don't like reading on my phone because I feel like I'm like going through the pages, but I'm not getting anywhere. It's like running in your dreams. Like it doesn't work. So, okay, let's get started with this though. Now that you guys have had my odd commentary for the day. Okay, so that means you get to start. Aren't you excited? I know.
Okay, my first one is probably one we don't need to switch over for. I read Sparking Sarah by Samantha Christie. And that was for our convincing my bestie to read, and you guys, to read books that just need more hype. So you can go check that out on that video if you want that rec.
Okay.
Otherwise, just know there's a firefighter in Amnesia. What more could you want out of a book?
Yes, seriously.
Well, if only he had been her dad's best friend. I'm kidding.
Well, then let's just stay on for my next one because it was Breaking Giants by L.M. Halloran, and that is a Rockstar romance. It is like the ultimate not the right time for these people. Like there's just constant back and forth. It just never works out, but it's nice and angsty and yummy. So that was a part of our convincing as well. So go watch that.
Yeah. Lots of good videos on there.
Yeah.
Or
lots
videos,
of good books in that video. Yes.
On that video, yeah. Okay, my turn again?
Yeah.
All right. This also, we can switch over at some point so we get back into our normal format. But I read Only Santa's in the Building by Alexis Daria. And that is part of the Mistletoe, or Under the Mistletoe collection, which were those novellas that you could get on Kindle Unlimited and on Audible. And so if you have Kindle Unlimited, they're obviously free there. And then if you have Audible, so you can listen to it for free as well. But you have to download the Kindle book first. So this one was about Evie. She goes to a Santa-themed party.
Do you want me to switch you over?
No.
Oh,
like, it was super short. She goes to a Santa-themed party and crushes on a guy there. I mean, it's just very, very quick and quick.
Okay. And that's it? She goes to a party and crushes?
They hook up. Like, I mean, it's very quick. There's not a lot to it. It's a very short novella.
Okay.
Okay. Now, do you want me to get into the nitty gritty?
Well, are you going to tell us what you rated? Is that what you're calling the nitty gritty?
I rated it a 4. I mean,
Okay.
it's not gonna be life-changing book. It's a novella. Like, so I rated it based on that.
Yeah.
Those 5 books have gotten beat up pretty hard on
Right.
Goodreads. I was really surprised that people don't go into it just with the, I don't know what, I guess my expectation versus other people's of what those were going to be were very different. I was
Mhm.
expecting just a real quick holiday themed read
Yeah.
that wasn't going to have a lot of depth and character building and plot. You
Yeah.
can't
You
really in a
can't for a
novella.
novella, a holiday novella. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you could jump into your next one now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. My next one was a brand new to me author, not a brand new author, brand new to me author, Jennifer Milken.
Milliken,
Mil
I think it's Milliken.
Milliken. Have you read her before?
No, but I've heard of her.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I read What We Keep, and I did not think that I was going to like this one. It was very different than what I normally read because it's a marriage in crisis, and I don't think I've really ever read that before. And I'm like, oh, who wants to read about like a married couple that's breaking up? Like that just, I don't know. It didn't seem like something I wanted to read, but I heard really good things about this, so I decided to go for it. So Avery is in a fire and she is rescued from her home that she lives in by Gabriel, a firefighter. And from there, she's like all over like front page news of him carrying her out of this burning building. And they end up meeting. And from there, he asks her for her number and they start dating. And then they have quite the epic romantic tale. And all of this is part 1. And it is told as Avery is sitting in a therapist's office recounting how everything went wrong. And we know she was a therapist and she isn't right now, but we don't know what happened. She just refers to it as the incident. And so I was hooked on this book. I absolutely loved it. It was phenomenal. Like I was blown away by how much I got invested in it and how I wanted to know what had happened to her, where he was, why they weren't together anymore. I just wanted to know everything. I loved it so much. And for those of you wondering, yes, it does end in a Hia and it is angsty. It is everything. I cried like it was everything that I love in a book.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, when you say you cry, I'm always like, okay. Because I don't have tear ducts. So.
Your stone cold heart.
Stone cold. Yeah. Okay, well, my next review is not going to make me look like I'm soft-hearted at all either. So, I didn't really like this book. So, this is Protect Me by J.L. Beck and C. Halleman. Or Hallman. Okay, anyhow. This is supposed to be Mafia. This hero is supposed to be this cold-hearted guy. Our heroine is Kira. She finds her brother dead in the beginning of the book, and she runs to this guy who she's never met before, but her brother has told her to go to him if anything was to happen, or somehow she finds out that's where she's supposed to go. She goes to a strip club. That's where this guy is. He's supposed to be a part of the Mafia. He's supposed to be this cold-hearted guy, and yeah, there's some things that happen when they first meet, but within 3 seconds he is softened to her and he has to protect her, and he's no longer the cold-hearted bastard that he's supposed to be. So I gave it 2 stars. It felt very Wattpad is what it felt like to me. It felt Wattpad. It didn't work. So bored out of my mind. I was really intrigued in the first couple chapters, but no. You can't tell me that the hero is this gruff, mean guy when he immediately turns into a marshmallow when she walks in the room. Doesn't work. So it was very insta as well. I didn't like that. Okay, what you got next?
Insta love is hard to do. I mean, you have to
Especially in Mafia.
You have to sell it really well. And it's hard because what sells it for one person is not going to sell it probably for the next.
I just did not like it. So,
all right.
Okay.
Okay, so remember last week when I was reading the Buttercup Hill series and I had read it out of order and I didn't know where the missing money was?
Yeah, did you find
Okay.
it?
I went on to book number 2 so I could get to the bottom of this.
Okay, good. All right.
So it says Love You Anyway by Stacey Travis. And this is PJ. PJ's the sister. And then we have Colin. Colin is a billionaire tech guy, and he kind of has a little bit of a meltdown. And he goes to hide out at their winery because he is PJ's brother's best friend. So he is staying in a cabin or house right next to her place. And he's just hiding out from the media because he's all over the news right now. And from there, PJ is trying to help her brother figure out what happened to this missing money and what is going on with their winery, because the winery is kind of in trouble at this point because there's a lot of money missing and they don't know what happened. And during this time, PJ and Colin start to kind of develop a fling, but Colin is very adamant that he does not want a relationship. And PJ kind of struggles a little bit with that, even though she says she's okay with it. And so we just kind of have that back and forth between the two of them.
I got it.
Oops.
Yep.
Sorry. I hit it right as you said I got it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I really have enjoyed the Buttercup Hill series. I've read now the first 4 books, and I believe there's a 5th book coming out, I think.
So did you
Pretty sure.
find the missing money?
Yes. I now know what happened. And now it makes some things that happened in other books
make more sense.
It clicks a little bit more like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, you know.
Yeah.
Interconnected standalones. Actually, I don't know if she even calls them standalones. She might have said to read in order.
But okay, here we are. Did you?
I love the winery setting, though. I've read quite a few books this past year set in a winery. Those are a lot of fun. I'm not a wine drinker either. Just throw that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what did you rate this one? I don't know if I heard it. You could have said it. I might just have missed it.
I rated it a 4.
Okay.
It was very good.
Okay. All right. So the next book that I read is Double Vision by L.M. Halloran. This one's also really hard to explain because I don't want to give anything away. But this is Mafia. What?
Didn't you already tell us that you read this at the beginning of the video?
Nope, I read Breaking Giants.
That's right. My bad.
Okay. So this is about Eden and Liam. So Eden is in California. She's getting ready to go off to medical school in Seattle, and she goes to a party one night and she sees a girl who looks exactly like her, like it's a total doppelganger. She also meets Liam that night, and because of these things, it just kind of it throws her world off its axis and a whole bunch of stuff changes. I really can't say more than that. I gave it 4 stars. It was a great listen. It was free on Audible, so you can go listen to it.
It is hard to talk about, but I found it really good.
It was good. I gave it 4 stars. Yeah.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My next book is my book 5, 6, and 7 for the week. And this is the After the Plague series, which I read also as part of Books That Need More Hype because I just really wanted to read post-apocalyptic.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
We'll just say that I cried a lot in book 1. And I am hooked. I am really curious, though. There's 6 books. And I saw somebody had asked her on Instagram, I think it is. And it looks like she's not super active on there. And it looked like somebody had asked her if that was the last book. And I didn't see where she'd responded.
When I looked them up the other day because I was curious, because I'm like, when is the next one coming out? I thought on Goodreads, when you go to the 6th book, it says it's the final installment.
Okay.
It could, I mean, I don't know because I haven't finished the 6th one or I haven't started the 6th one yet, but it could be the final. I don't know. We'll see.
I didn't want to read the description for it since, I mean, it's definitely a continuation. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't want to read something that was going to spoil something for me. So
and I think it's pretty early on in the description that it says that, but we'll just think that it is, and then you can just keep going.
Okay.
All right.
I haven't finished the series. I really enjoyed it.
Do you want to talk about it?
Oh, I was
just leaving it there.
Yeah, go check out that video. And if you like post-apocalyptic. I'll talk about the whole thing when I finish the whole series. How about that?
Yeah. And just so you guys know, the author is Imogen Keeper.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. All right. So the next book, I am going to talk about it, even though it was a reread, but it's very, I got to put it over here. It's very important. Huh?
Bye.
What? Bye. Oh,
You were
bye.
gone.
Yeah. I was leaning. I didn't put my table out today. I just have everything on the bed. Okay. So this was a reread, but I feel like I had to do this reread because a new book came out in Christmas and I really wanted to jump into it, but I was forgetting things. So I did a reread of Row by Dylan Page, which I love this book. I really love this book. This is set in 1973. This, if you haven't read it, this is a bunch of, there's 4 girls. They are in college and they are in a hiking group in college, and they decide that they are going to go on a kayaking trip. And so these 4 girls, it's in this park in Oregon that has like just been opened up. It's been closed to the public for years. It's a protected area. And so they decide that they're going to go kayaking. They send letters to their parents because, again, 1973, so you don't have technology like we do. And they each get their individual kayaks and they go. Well, something happens. They get separated. They get into whitewater that they're not supposed to be getting into, and their kayaks get broken up, and then they're in this wilderness. This one is about Roe and Kate. So Kate is... like, you know, her kayak is broken up. She's in the wilderness. She's scared. She gets rescued by a caveman. So apparently these woods are hiding caveman type people, and that is where Roe comes in. And Roe immediately is like, Kate, yeah, you're mine. They don't talk like we do. They have their own language. It's a whole language barrier thing. Loved it. So I had to read this do a reread because Dylan Page put out the second book, and you should read these in orders, which is Volthu, and I will talk about that shortly. So I love it. Okay.
Well, my next book is Dad's Best Friend.
Okay. What is that?
It's called Inevitable by Jenna Hartley. I've had this book for a little while on my shelf, so I'm excited to finally be getting to it. So we have Summer, and Summer has been off to college, and she's coming back for the summer. And her dad has arranged for her to intern for Jonathan. And her dad he's not like a bad dad, but he's a little over like controlling and wanting just what's best for her and not always trusting that she can make those decisions on her own for herself. And so he's a little bit of a hover, maybe. So he arranges for her to intern at his best friend's real estate business. And this is like a big business where he acquires like massive amounts of property and things. Like he's doing very well for himself. And so she goes to intern for him, and that forces the 2 of them together. And from there, we have the forbidden trope of best friend's daughter, dad's best friend. So
Good.
I'll leave it at that. I rated it 4 stars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give too much away, but yeah.
Okay.
It was inevitable.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now let me tell you guys about Volthu by Dylan Page. This is the second book in her Primal series. Came out on Christmas, and then I went into a complete panic attack when Amazon took my book away because I was like 70% of the way through. So this is about Stephanie and Volthu. So Stephanie is the one, when you read the book, you'll hear about, there's a girl who's very small. She wears sweaters in the summertime. She's very timid. She's kind of in the back of the pack. She's, you know, a little more like, she just doesn't know what she's doing as much. Just very quiet, meek, and not as Stephanie. She wears glasses, which, you know, is very important to the story. But when her kayak crashes, she loses her glasses, and she is nearsighted, but not. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, things are fuzzy, obviously, and so she is actually rescued by a woman. This woman is like 6 feet tall, and she's a big girl, and because Stephanie is so tiny, she thinks that she's a child. And so she takes her back to her cave with her people, and she's like, I got myself a daughter. Like, I've got myself a little girl, and I'm going to take care of her. Volthu is the leader of the group, and he likes her. He's a lot older. You can tell there's an age gap. She's 19. He's got gray in his hair. But when she gets her period and he realizes she is not a child, it is fair game. Loved it. 5 stars. There's a lot more into this. This one's actually a little bit longer than the other one, because we get to see a lot more in this world. So loved it.
Okay.
Okay. Next.
All right. Next, I have an ALC for a book that I finished the first book in the series, and the minute I was done, I was like wanting the next book desperately. So this is Forbidden Dreams by Natasha Madison. That hold on, I messed up. There we go. The audio is by Gregory Salinas. Salinas, yeah, and Savannah Peachwood. I can get that one. Okay, so we have Brady, and Brady's family, specifically his sister, and him with their business, were horrifically targeted by another family, which plays out in the other book. And so Harmony was married into this family, and she realized that she did not want her son to grow up like these people. So she plans her escape, basically, and gets out of the marriage. Well, her ex is not wanting to let her go. He won't sign the divorce papers. He's just a royal jackass. And she ends up moving in next door to Brady, and Brady very, very reluctantly gets involved in some of the drama when her ex shows up in the middle of the night and is just being a total drunken ass. And from there, he ends up, again, fairly reluctantly feeling for her, and he gives her a job at the bar. And from there, he starts to really fall for her and her son. I loved it so much. It was so good. 5 stars.
Okay. All right.
And again, I cannot wait for the next book. I am really, really enjoying Natasha Madison.
Good. It's good because she's going to be on our thing for our buddy read. She's our buddy read author.
This book is the buddy read.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I had already applied for the ALC when that was decided.
When that was decided, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I knew she was.
That's on Jen's channel this month, but I don't remember the date.
I don't either.
We'll get the graphic out once Jen gets that to us. We'll get that posted.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'll let you know all about my arc that I had this week that I was so excited for and had been waiting for, and I just
should I go get one of my feathered friends and bring them in for this?
You can. So this is Ruffled Feathers by none other than Grace McGinty. Oh my gosh, I loved this so much. I laughed my butt off. So this is an Omegaverse rom-com, and if you guys have been around here for a hot minute, you know that I don't do rom-coms. It takes a lot to get me to laugh in a book, but Grace had me rolling, and I knew she would because Grace's humor works for me. She's just got these amazing one-liners. But this is about Otillie James, and or OJ or Juice or Tilly. She's got all these nicknames, but she is a wild child from Alaska, and her father gets married to this debutante in the Carolinas when she is in her teens, and so she moves from Alaska, and I can't remember if it was North or South Carolina. Doesn't matter. She's in the Carolinas, and she inherits a stepbrother when that happens. He's a couple years older, and the stepbrother is an alpha. He has his best friend who is an alpha, and they eventually become their own pack, and they're on the hunt for their Omega. So then we fast forward a few years. Otillie is 23, and she's still a wild child. She's all about rescuing animals that like nobody wants to take in, which totally makes the book. And she's at a cockfight one night and trying to rescue the roosters, and she gets arrested for being there, even though she's there to rescue the roosters. And that is where her brother's best friend comes in because he's an attorney. Her parents aren't home. He goes to their house, and there are animals everywhere. There's even an unhoused gentleman who she's brought in to live with her that she met under a bridge. And there's all these animals. There is even a parrot who was rescued from a crack house, and it can't be rehomed because the verbiage that we get from the parrot made the book. Like, because everything is like, it's just hilarious. The reason why he can't be rehoused is because he uses the C word for an hour in the morning and he screams it at you. I laughed so hard. I was trying not to wake my husband up. 5 stars. I loved it. I loved it so much.
Is it Why Choose?
It is Why Choose. It is. It's one of her smaller groups. It's 4 guys eventually. But it's got 2 Omegas in it, does have MM in it. She is undesignated at the time when she doesn't have a designation. She's in her 20s, so they just think she's going to be undesignated and not an Omega, but then she goes into heat unexpectedly. So, and we also have a military guy who's scarred and has a lot of PTSD. It just gave me everything I needed, plus a few giggles. It was great.
But did it have a Mr. Goose?
No, but it had a lot of funny looking animals. Mr. Goose is cute. Mr. Goose is adorable. This one had a lot of issues. All these animals, they couldn't really be rehoused. So, yeah.
Mr. Goose woke up really early this morning with a tummy ache.
Oh no.
He jumped from the couch to the coffee table, which was quite the little feat for him, and gobbled down not a piece, but like a bite of cheesecake.
Oh.
Yeah, before I could grab him.
Mm-hmm.
It was very quick.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
For those little legs move fast. Yeah. So.
It wasn't the legs that were moving fast, it was the jaw. Huh, Mr. Goose.
True. Okay, do you have any more books? You should have more,
maybe.
Right?
Mr. Goose would like to tell you more about his cheesecake drama.
Poor guy. He'll learn not to eat stuff he's not supposed to.
I don't think he will.
I don't think, no, ours didn't either. No.
Okay. My next one is another ALC. It's the second book in, I always have to look at my notes because some of her series are so close together. Vegas Heat Bases Loaded series. Okay. So this is Caught Looking. So this is the second book. Like I said, it's done. The narration is done by Avery Reed and Scott Rose. And we have Alexis, who is that pop star who's micromanaged by her dad and her her manager, to the point where she's not allowed to have relationships and things like that. And they have basically kind of created a whole narrative for her. I don't want to give anything away, though, but she has fallen for Baseball's bad boy, Danny. Sorry. Mr. Goose is distracting me, but look at that face. And so something quite drastic happened at the end of the last book, which we kind of see that play out a little bit in this book. Basically, she's trying to do certain things. My time's up, Jessica. Do certain things to get herself in a better position to get out from underneath them, but it's a lengthy process.
Okay.
Mr. Goose is ready for more napping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell the good
So what did you rate this one?
I am really enjoying the series. I've rated it a 5.
Okay.
Mr. Goose says, please subscribe to the channel.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Also, how cute is this toy that he got for Christmas?
I know. I saw that at Christmas. That's adorable. So then do you have any other books?
Are you done?
Yeah.
I do. I have one more. It's another ALC.
Okay, tell us about it.
Another one that I could not wait to get. This is Mr. Broody by Piper Rain. This is the second book in the Nest series. So this is Henry. They call him Daddy Henry because he's kind of the dad of the group. He's not like older than them. He's just kind of more of a father figure. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yep.
So he also has a son that he adopted. And so he's a single dad, and he has just kind of been pining away for Jade. Jade was his high school sweetheart. They went off to college together, and he broke up with her to let her live her life instead of living his life as he got drafted into the hockey NHL and all that stuff. And he's just like really like, she's just the one that got away, and she's back in town. And yeah. And she ends up being the substitute teacher for his son's class. And let's just say his little boy Bodhi really kind of steals the book so much in this. I just love it. He plots to get them together, and that was my time.
Okay.
And it's just really adorable. I really, really enjoyed this. So it's narrated by J.F. Harding and Brooke Bloomingdale. Neither one of those names sounded familiar to me, but
J.F. Harding is very familiar.
okay.
Yeah.
Teddy Hamilton also, there's like, it's a full cast. And so the other characters in the book narrate as well. And it ends on quite the cliffhanger for the next book, not for this couple, but for the next book. And so I'm just really, really hooked on this hockey series.
Okay. All right. So that was your week.
That was my week.
And I just want to say, guys, I know she just mentioned Teddy. It's another thing that's coming up in January. So stay tuned for that. So, yeah. All right. So there's our reading week.
That was our reading week. So how was your reading week?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let Mr. Goose stay unsubscribed.
Yes.
Kidding. And yeah, so like and comment below. Let us know how your reading week went.
All right. And we will see you guys. What?
And make sure that you have to hit that notification button because you want to make sure that you come back on Wednesday. We do have our 2-year anniversary video coming out, which will also have our winner for the 2K giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
And we answer your questions, and it's just going to be a really fun video. So make sure to check that out.
Yep. Okay. So, Mandy, I will see you tomorrow, and all of you will see you in the next video.